Hello YouTube, it's your boy B3, back with another kicking movie reaction review. Yes, got another kind of 50s sci-fi film today from Universal International Pictures, The Deadly Mantis from 1957. It is a sci-fi horror film. Runs about an hour, 19 minutes long. Seen it a couple times, but I just got my own copy, so that's good. Excuse me. It's got a 5.2 out of 10 on IMDb, 33% on Rotten Tomatoes, and 91% of Google users liked the film. Directed by Nathan Haran, I think. Screenplay by Martin Berkeley. Producer William Allen. Music composed by Irving Gertz, William Lava, and Joseph Gershon. Starring William Hopper, Craig Stevens, Alex Talton, Donald Randolph, Florence Ames, Pat Conway, and Helen J. Very nice. So, quick read-up of the film. When a melting iceberg releases a prehistoric giant praying mantis, a paleontologist works with the military to kill it after it attacks scientific outposts on its way to Washington and New York. Yeah. Mantis. So, this is a super basic 1950s giant bug movie. You can call it a kaiju film if you want. I'm hesitant to call just bigger versions of regular animals kaiju, to be completely honest. This is basically Chimericus the movie, but somehow more boring. It's not a very good film. It's kind of a dime a dozen film, like a lot of stuff. Like, oh, giant creature was frozen in ice, and now it's free. I've seen that in 1,000 different movies. The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, Wyvern, etc., etc. Fun fact, Wyvern was the first movie we reviewed on this channel. And then it just starts attacking and eating people, you know, running around, flying to landmarks. The effects are okay, stuff for the time, and like the low budget. It's this decent praying mantis like puppet. It has a really weird mouth. The mouth is like more like a human mouth than a praying mantis mouth, which is really weird. But in fairness to the creators, most people in 1957 probably didn't know what a praying mantis mouth super looked like up close. So, I don't know. You got, yeah, this pretty decent mantis puppet. And there's like a flying puppet of the mantis as well, and the flying mantis puppet actually looks pretty damn good, to be completely honest. There's also a scene where the mantis is crawling up the Washington Monument, and it's like a scale Washington Monument with like a real live praying mantis on it, and that looks really good. I mean, it was literally a real mantis. That was the best effect in the movie, obviously. And there seems to be no animal cruelty as well, which was nice. Big change from the last film we reviewed, which had a ton of animal cruelty. But yeah, you know, they chase it down. It's got like the heroic scientists, etc., etc. All that stuff. Possible metaphor for communism. Maybe not, though. It seemed a little too generic. I don't know. Aliens were usually more of the communism metaphor around this time. But, big spoilers right here. The way they defeat the mantis is they wound it with a jet. By crashing into it, not even by shooting it, by crashing into it. And then it, like, flies down and crawls into a tunnel because it's mortally wounded, and then they just fill the tunnel with gas and shoot it a bunch and it's dead. And I was like, that wasn't really that hard. And it kind of makes the mantis seem like it wasn't really that menacing in the first place. And also, it just kind of happened, like, in most of these movies like this, the scientists like work really hard and do a bunch of research to come up with a big plan to defeat it. And then in this one, they just accidentally crash into it. And that hurts it so much that it runs into a tunnel. And then they just kind of shoot it and stuff like they normally would. And then it's dead. It's basically just good luck. What? I mean, that could have so easily been reworked into something cooler. Like, without even changing the concept very much, I'm going to give you what I consider to be a better way to defeat the Mantis. So the scientists are like, wait, it's a bug. We have, like, insecticides and stuff. I don't know what the... Like, I'm guessing they had insecticides in the late 50s. If I'm somehow wrong, tell me, please. But I bet they did. So they were like, why don't we lure it into the tunnel with, like, food or by, like, controlling its movements to get it there somehow, and then trap it in a tunnel where it can only go one direction, and then just fill the tunnel with insecticide. I feel like that would have been... Like, that's barely even a change, see? That's barely changing the ending at all, but I feel like it makes it feel earned. Defeating the monster does not feel earned in this film. Most of it's literally an accident. So, that would be a way to rewrite the ending to make it slightly more clever and just make it feel more earned. You know? The acting was fine. Sets were fine. There's this one weird part where, like, there's this photographer following them around. She's, like, the editor of the museum magazine. And she gets to come along because a scientist from the museum is helping, like, identify this mantis because it's a prehistoric mantis. Of course. So, she's coming along to help, and they're on this, like, military base, and, like, all these military dudes haven't seen a woman in, like, forever, so they're all, like, oogling her, and it's supposed to be, like, comedic, but it's actually just kind of weird and a little, like, incel-y, because they're like, wow, there's a woman here, I can't believe it. It's strange. And the first they're, like, catcalling her and stuff. It gets a little cuter later on when, like, one is, like, embarrassed to ask her to dance, but it's still very weird. But don't expect these movies without sexism. Just don't... If you're watching a movie from the 50s, expect the sexism. Just expect it, you know? And, of course, all-white cast and everything. There were a bunch of extras that appeared to be, like, legitimately Inuit people when the Mantis is, like, leaving the more icy regions and stuff. That was kind of interesting to see some people of color who seemed to be actual people of color, not white people in makeup. But, yeah, I mean, if you're kind of just starved for giant monster content, this might be worth the watch. It's definitely something I'll, like, watch again at some point, just because cheesy, like, 50s sci-fi films, I'm just a huge fan, and I have been my whole life, even as a little kid. But, like, it's not one that you would rush home to catch on TV, you know? But, that being said, I got it in a set of several sci-fi movies, mostly Universal films, and this set so far has been quite worth the money. Cheesy films like this are a dime a dozen, but if you ever wanted Camericus to have a solo film for some reason, Deadly Mantis. So that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe, check out all the cool links in the description below, Facebook, Twitter, etc. I don't know what I'm watching next. It's probably still going to be an older film. I would watch something else on this set, but I think I'm going to do some streaming. Got to get some streaming in to make that monthly cost worth it. I'm dog sitting, which means I'll have good enough internet to actually stream. So that's it. Thank you all once again for your support, and I'll see you all next time.